Hello, I am Suzette, Dream Team member here at Art Anthology. Today I'm going to show you how to make this fabulous journal page using Art Anthology products. Gather your supplies and let's get started.
Alright, today we're going to do a journal page. I'm working in my art journal, so I just put this under to keep my other pages clean. This is actually just from some mountain foam for stamps, and it's very good because it's non-stick, so I just keep them for that reason. I'm going to be using this stencil from the Art Anthology Let's Face It set. That way, even if you can't draw a face, you can easily make a journal page. So I'm just going to show you how we can do that. The first thing I'm going to do is just decide where I want my face. I think I'm going to put it over to the side a bit and up a bit because I'm going to collage around it, and I want to make sure I don't work in that area. So just to mark the area, I'm just going to use the Sandcastle spray. I don't want the stencil to move while I'm spraying, so I'm just going to use a little bit of painter's tape here and just hold it in place with that. And then using my Sandcastle spray, let me give it a shake. It's always good to shake side to side as opposed to up and down. And then I'm just going to go ahead and spray my stencil. This is a nice light brown. That will just leave a nice mark where I want my face to go. You don't have to waste this. You can use another paper. It can be a scrap paper, it can be a paper you plan on working on. It really doesn't matter. And then you can lift it off and you have also have another one to work on at a later date. I think this got smudged some, but it doesn't matter. I can see some ink under there, but like I said, it's fine. It's just to get an idea of where the face is. Probably added a bit too much ink, but there we go. So that's where we're gonna have the face. So now we know where we can work as opposed to where we can't work. So I'm going to start collaging and adding stuff around it. I have this little piece of tissue paper here. I'm going to grab some matte medium, maybe some book paper. There's another piece of tissue I have handy. You can get some old book paper as well if you like, or old tissue, whatever you want. We're going to do a layer of collage and then add a layer of stencil in with our dimensional paints. And from there on, we will figure out what we do next. So being I have this right here, I'm just going to go ahead and use it. Break off small pieces. And just apply however you want them. And then paint more on top. So we're going to keep going until we've added as much or as little as we want. That one tore, but that's okay. We can just do that and fix it. Break off that bit there. think I'm going to use that big flower down here. So let's go ahead and add some stuff here, matte medium, and then just collage this area also. I don't want it to go that much into the face, so I think I'm just going to move it down a bit actually. And just tear off this excess piece right here. I'm going to add those roses above her head. Can possibly use them when we do the hair, so. That might actually be enough. I don't think we need anything else. Actually, I think I'm gonna let that hook the flower instead. Like that. I think we're good. So we can go ahead and just add another coat on top, and then we can put that aside to dry. We can just break off those little excess pieces here and here. Alright, when this is dry, we're going to add some dimensional medium. Now it's time to fill in the other background areas, and then we'll get back to the face and maybe use some colored pencils and just highlight certain areas. I'm going to use the Desire Velvet Dimensional Paint and the Sorbet Dimensional Paint to go over some areas and, as I said, give it some background. So we can start with this one. This one has a little sparkle to it. So we're going to go ahead and just add some. Right now we're just trying to bring everything together. These paints are translucent though. If you want an area entirely covered, you would probably have to put down like black gesso or black paint before. I'm not too bothered about perfect lines because I might go back in and add more collage near the face. So I'm going to let that dry for a minute. That's just our foundation layer. And then we're just going to keep adding to it until we're happy with how it looks. And then we'll clean up the face. Alright, now that green paint is dry, I'm just looking at this and I'm saying, okay, there would be a hairline here if you know, we didn't have all that collage. So I'm going to go ahead and add in that hairline, and we're going to work with that to just finish off our page. I found this rose like that one. I'm thinking might be great right there. We'll see how that goes in just a minute. It also would be a neck area about right there. So we are going to work with that and decide what to do about that hairline. I might just add in more of the green paint and collage for now. I'm not sure where that's going. And also decide on what to do. Should we add more collage? This is how art journaling is. It's very intuitive. So I'm thinking actually we're just going to add some paint here that we would normally add. Being we have the red out, I'm thinking the red and then we cover it with the green. That would be a nice effect. So I'm going to go ahead and add the red right here. I'm not too worried about being neat right now because everything is just going to blend back in to the background. We want it to carry through. We don't want it to be just stark. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. You can use your fingers if you like. They will get stained though. This stuff does stain your fingers. And you can see it's becoming more unified now. That's how art journaling is. It's very intuitive, and you just have to keep going until you are happy with the page. So I'm liking how that's looking up there now. It's starting to look more unified. Definitely is looking more unified. So I'm quite pleased with that. I'm going to go ahead and just use my finger and just add some red in other spots around the page, wherever I see fit. As you can see, the piece is now starting to come together, whereas before it was looking just kind of stark. So I'm just going to put that aside. That was the Desire Velvet Dimensional paint. And I am now going to just dry this just a bit. And I'm thinking of adding a butterfly there. I'm just going to go ahead and cut that out. We don't want the edges too harsh though. And I'm just going to add that there, I think. Definitely. I'm going to add a little bit more red. Now that's dry. Can see how translucent it is, and I want it to be a little darker there. I'm just lightly rubbing. Can get a little messy when you rub. It is gonna stain other areas, but it's art journaling, it's fun, it's free. We don't worry about mistakes. Normally a wet wipe fixes most mistakes, to be honest with you. And if it doesn't, we'll just incorporate it into whatever it is we're doing. So yeah, I'm thinking that's good now. I'm going to go ahead, and I think this butterfly definitely belongs there. So let me grab some matte medium. Get that all over there. I don't want to rub it there just yet because that's not fully dry, so I'd rather put it on this. And just add my butterfly there. Once again, it's overlapping the background and the hair. So it brings the two elements together, as you can see nice from this. As some of the paint shifted there, we'll go back and add more paint to that in just a second. I'm going to just let it dry a bit. And we can continue adding collage elements in other spots throughout. I also have these other ones that I've stamped on tissue, and I'm thinking that I would like to add one down here. It'd be good if the edges weren't straight. That's very difficult sometimes without tearing the stamped image, so I think I'm going to add more green there, just as I did with the red up there. I'm not too fussy about the edges because, as I said, I'm trying to just bring everything together. I don't want those stark lines between the two. Whereas I do want to see the face. I just, I don't want that harsh line that was there before to be as apparent. Of course, if it goes over too much, you can just grab your wet wipe and gently rub it off. Just like that. Let me just dry that for a bit and then I'll add those words right there. And that's how it pretty much is done all the way through art journaling. It's just back and forth as you see things. They just tend to come to you as you're working. It's a very intuitive process. You start with a blank page, you suddenly start creating, and then you're amazed at what you have when you're finished. So as before, I am overlapping the two areas because I want everything to be incorporated as one piece as opposed to, you know, different pieces stuck together like a collage. I want it more unified. So this is now becoming more unified, and this has something, this has something. I'll probably add something here as well, just to bring the two bits together. Let me see what else I have. I do have these little hearts. I have another butterfly. I think another butterfly would be great. So I'm just gonna tear that out. And I'm gonna put that right here. Right here, this little bit kind of looks, I think some of the cream got on it, so I'm just gonna add a little green there as well, just to bring that back into the piece as opposed to being so stark and sticking out right there. And then I'm going to go ahead and add my butterfly there. And it really is looking good now. I think we might more or less be finished with adding collage elements after this. And we'll probably just focus on highlighting areas of that face that need highlighting still or fixing. So there we go. We've added our butterfly there. I will probably just fix right here and here. I will use a paintbrush for this bit up here. I'm just kind of dabbing it on. It's a dimensional medium, so it tends to hold the texture when you do that. I don't want the brush strokes, so you can also use your finger to get a much softer feel. For the section, I will use the green. And I'll bring it up here and blend it with the red. Because they're translucent, the color underneath shows, so you really do get some nice effects. And add back some green up there. Get those areas darker. So the Art Anthology stencil we use is fantastic. I think it comes as a set, so it's more than one that comes with it. And it's great if you're uncomfortable drawing a face or you just want a quick face. It works really nice in this instance. So yeah. Okay, great. I think I'm going to leave that alone now for the background. I'm going to let it dry for a bit, and then we can highlight any areas. I wouldn't say fix, I think the right word is highlight any areas in our face that need highlighting. I'm just trying to get rid of some fingerprints I have left right here. I kind of like that streak that's there. I think I'm going to use a brush and see if I can add one there as well. Nope, it's not working. Let's use our wet wipe and bring back some of that. There we go. There's the streak. And then I'll just use my finger to get rid of those lines. Sometimes things work, sometimes they don't. You just have to keep trying different things as you go along. Alright, there we go. We're going to leave that to dry, and then we can come back in and just highlight areas of the face, and then we'll be all done. Alright, now this is dry. Let's just add our finishing touches. I'm going to be using my charcoal pencil and my colored pencils to finish up here. So to begin, I'm just going to go ahead and just go around anywhere you want to highlight. Always remember to have that wet wipe handy. My wet wipes are dry. It's great for cleaning up little smudges like that just go too far. Alright, we'll continue. Let us look at those eyebrows. We can just go ahead and outline them. Add some texture. Same with those eyes. And then of course we have the mouth. Colored pencils are great for details in mixed media projects, in particular art journaling. They're great for fixing mistakes that you make and just filling in areas that you would normally get frustrated with because something didn't go quite fine or something, but I find that they're great for these type of things. And they do blend, so you can add spots that are lighter than others and stuff. So as you can see, once you outline with the charcoal, things tend to pop off the page. When you use the charcoal though, you're going to want to fix it. You can use gloss varnish, a hairspray, aerosol hairspray, a fixative, any of those things will work. Another great thing for highlighting journal pages is chalk pastels. I will show you those in a minute when I do the eyeshadow. I'm not too bothered about there actually, because really it is under the hair, so alright, so let me show you my chalk pastels. I've had this set for years. You can still get them, maybe not the same brand, but they are available like this on Amazon. And they're great because they just really spread on nicely for eyeshadow and stuff. So I will show you. I think I'm going to use yellow because I like the earthy tones that we've been working with. So I will show you how easily they work. You just have to dab. And then I'll just blow that off, sorry. And same here on this side. So they're great for stuff like that, and they're great for cheeks as well. If you want to highlight those rosy cheeks that we have, you can just go in and do that. And it's important not to rub it with your hand though. It's better to just blow off the excess. You can also add shadows under eyes if that's the look you're going for. You can see it gives great interest to the piece, but it's still very subtle. It's not overpowering like acrylic paint or a marker would be. So I find that I do use them a lot. Actually, we can use that yellow on the nose as well, right here. Just highlight those areas. I think we can actually go over those nostrils with a colored pencil. And then we're just down to the eyes. So I'm going to put these away. Go back to my colored pencils and just find that dark brown and fix that nose right here. There we go, and then we can do the eyes also. You can use black as well, but black tends to be a bit harsh under the eye. I find that on top of the eye, it actually is good. But under the eye, I prefer the brown. So for the top of the eye, I am going to use my black marker. It is just, it's called Identipen. It's like a Sharpie. It's just a black permanent marker. So we just very carefully go around it. And then we just give it a little flick up there for eyelashes. I like a heavy line right there. And of course we can also go around to highlight those areas. And I think to finish off, we just can use a paint pen or a dab of white paint and just add a couple little dots to those eyes. And I think we're good. Sure those remain round. And there you have it. Isn't that beautiful? Look at all that texture. We didn't draw the face, we used a stencil, so that's fantastic. So I'm going to set this aside to dry now. Thank you so much for joining me. Please be sure to like the Art Anthology channel and subscribe. Several of us upload to the YouTube channel, so there are varying tutorials, so you don't want to miss out. Thank you again, and I'll see you next time.